VariAudio in Cubase 12 now comes with Scale Assistant. This is available in the Pro and Artist versions of Cubase. So I've got a vocal here and a backing track. I'll double click on the vocal to open it up in the editor, and then I'll click Edit VariAudio to do a pitch analysis. And you'll see over here on the left in the inspector, you can now use Scale Assistant. This is very simple to use and will certainly help with your vocal tuning and pitch manipulation tasks. For example, I have a vocal here that I know is in the key of A minor, and when you go in and you tune notes manually, as you drag these up and down, the notes by default will just snap chromatically. So if I know that this note is on G, I can just stick it on G, but it's kind of actually closer to F sharp. At least the original pitch was closer to F sharp. Same thing goes for over here. But if I know that my song is in the key of A minor, I'll just set the key over here in the Scale Assistant first. So A, and then Aeolian, also known as natural minor. And then I'm going to turn on this snap pitch editing option. And what this does is it snaps any of the pitches that you move to the scale that you've set in Scale Assistant. And you'll see that it only snaps to notes within the A minor scale. So we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. So it's skipping all of the sharp or flat keys. Same thing over here. This note was originally on F sharp, but I think it needs to go on G. Another really great use of Scale Assistant with VariAudio is if you're trying to create artificial backing harmonies. For example, up here, I've duplicated just this section down to another track. So right now, this section is just doubled. So I'm just going to mute it, and let's just give this phrase a listen.
Hit for free, have only good intentions.
So that section, only good intentions, I want a bit of a harmony on here. So what I'm going to do is unmute the duplicate track. And if you were to just parallel shift this up or down by a third or a fourth or a sixth or whatever harmony you're trying to create, it's just going to create parallel harmony. For example, if I were to shift this whole thing up a third, it's just going to sound like a parallel third. It's not going to be very pretty sounding.
Have only good intentions.
That's because all of the notes have been shifted up by the same interval. However, if I use the Scale Assistant to set the key to A minor and then snap the pitch editing, if I drag these notes up by a third, now what's going to happen is they're going to sort of maintain their diatonic position within the key or within the scale.
Have only good intentions.
So that's a lot better. It's a lot smoother. It definitely needs some tweaking, but this is how you can start to approach this. So to clean this up even more, I'm going to go back to the original and quantize this to A minor.
Have only good intentions.
I'm going to split this note here, and then I'm going to glue these two notes back together, and then I'll just re-quantize these three notes. So now the pitch of the original is a little more solid. So now I'll try dragging this up a third, and again, all of the notes will maintain their position diatonically within the key of A minor.
Have only good intentions.
So that's a way you can use VariAudio and the new Scale Assistant in VariAudio to create vocal harmonies. If you're already very familiar with all of your keys and scales and music theory just comes naturally to you, you may not find yourself using Scale Assistant very often. But if you don't know all of your scales and keys like the back of your hand, Scale Assistant can be incredibly helpful for vocal tuning, vocal harmonies, and pitch manipulation of audio sources.